Welcome, got some cords here to jump over. Welcome to SNG. If you've already subscribed, it's appreciated. If you haven't, consider it. And if you want to be notified the next time I make fun of my fat bastard buddy Jones, hit that notification, flower, bell, bug, whatever you're supposed to do. And I don't even know what happens. Does it ding your phone? Does it? I don't know what it does, but it will definitely make you aware the next time I am busting Jonesy stones. So we're jumping back on the 80 cubic inch evolution, the tappets. We're going to put in the cam and all of the other miscellaneous stuff that we need to do. So I'm going to get this camera set up and we'll start going. The fat bastard should be here any minute. We'll make fun of him as soon as he gets here. Hey Jones, what the hell is going on?
Oh man, if you'd have been here 10 minutes ago, you'd have thought we was going to have a meltdown brain aneurysm trying to figure out all the parts we need for my bike. But I think we got, I'd say we got about 95% of them ordered, and they're on their way. We got to do something. We've been sitting here waiting, figuring. So we got all that ordered, and as soon as it comes in, I think the first thing we want to do is check it and make sure it's all right. We've only got 30 days to send it back, but I think we'll be all right. So
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight. Last week we didn't do anything except go over at the Mexican restaurant, sit there and eat and drink. So tonight we had to get something accomplished.
Right.
So
I feel like going to the Mexican restaurant.
I know, it was pretty stressful there for a little bit, but I was on my phone, you was on your phone, and I think we got it ordered though.
All right. Well, good.
I think we're all right. We did get a few. You did get a few things hung up tonight.
Yeah, we
got
did.
a couple of pictures rehung. You're running out of room.
Running out of room.
You got to quit bringing stuff home.
Yeah, amen.
Or, yeah, I don't know, or add on one of the two. We got plenty of.
Yep.
You got plenty of ceiling space left, but yeah.
Well, Slick said that you were wearing auto mechanic clothes, or was just an outfit. What's the deal?
Outfit. My outfit is my uniform. I'm a high school teacher, and somebody made the comment, Jones still works. I'm only 60 years old. I might look old. You know, somebody said we were in our 80s. Do we look that bad?
Well, I'm close to 90 now.
You're close to 90.
Yeah, I'm really. I told the guy I was really only 24. It was the phosgene gas that was getting us.
So I'm 60, and I am a high school teacher. I'm hoping to do it for another 4 years, 5 years maybe. So yeah, my outfit is my uniform.
There you go.
So that's my uniform that I wear every day.
Well, might as well start getting into this cam change. So we'll be back.
We'll be back.
So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take this cam bearing out. So first of all, the cam bearing I am replacing that with, that happens to be a good bearing. That's a Torrington bearing. The year after this is a 91. Somewhere in 92, 93, they went to an INA bearing, which had half of the needle rollers. So when you replace this bearing, there's a whole, there's a whole, Timken made it, sold it to Torrington. There's a whole story about this. So to not tell that whole story, this is what you want to look for. You can pick it up and if you don't know, I didn't know this. You can, if you're watching this on your phone, you can't do it on a big screen. Not that a lot of people watch this shit on a big screen, but other than Barry, you can take your finger and you can zoom in to see. If you can't see something, you can zoom in. I didn't know that. That's just because I'm old and don't know technology. But this is KO. It was formerly sold as KO, which took over from Torrington, which took over for Timken, but this is the good bearing. So J-Tech is what you want to get. I got it on eBay for less than 25 bucks. The number is B138, P as in Paul, B as in boy, L as in Larry, 125. Always check to make sure it fits your bike. This is from early, from Evo, 19, what was it, like 84, I think. From 84 to 92, they use these bearings. But anyhow, this is the bearing you want. So I picked up a bearing. You can also, so for under 25 bucks, you can't afford not to replace this bearing. If you're in here this deep, get rid of that bearing. I don't care how many miles you have on it. I mean, unless you've got 20 miles on it, but why would you be in there? I would always replace that bearing. That's my personal opinion. You can do what you want. I picked up this tool, which was a two-fold tool. It includes this part here, and this tool removes this bearing and also inserts the new bearing. So I'm going to try to do this video just to remove that bearing and put a new bearing in. So what you'll do is you'll take this tool, there's a center rod you'll take out, you'll take the nut off, and the washer, and then take the outer piece off, and this is what you're left with. What I'll do is I'll take either some oil or some assembly lube, whatever you prefer, and I'm going to goober this up. And this stuff is really, and the reason I do that is because I want, when I push this in to this, and I'll put some on the bearing itself, and I do not want to knock any of the needle bearings out into the crankcase. If that happens, you've got to pull the engine and tear the whole motor down. So grease that up. You can put that in there. And a lot of times you can just push it in by hand. Some of the times if you have to, tap it in with a mallet. When you tap it in, understand your flywheel is right through that hole, so you don't want to get crazy there. You want to take everything nice and easy. So we're in there. What you'll do then is take this part and slide it on. I'm going to take a little assembly lube, and I'm going to lube up just to try to, this tool, by the way, you can pick up from Amazon. If you're doing this for a living, Jim's tools and some other tools, I mean, they're $300-400. I don't do this. This isn't my full-time job. I do this as a hobby. So for as little cam bearings as I'm ever going to take off, this tool works great for me. And what I'm doing is just putting that on there so that everything runs smooth. I'll put a little bit on the actual nut and screw the nut on. You can pick this up from Amazon for under 65 bucks. I think it was $63. So I'll straighten this up and I'll hand tighten that to where I'm back against the case. And hopefully my head's not messing up the focusing on my head. Let me look and see. I'll try to stay back. I'll move this just a little bit. Okay. So once that's in there like that, what you can do is there's a flat right here that you can get a wrench on. And then I'm going to use, although I don't like these type wrenches, but I'm going to have to use this. I'm going to put that to back that up and hold it. And I'm going to open this. And I am going to start to tighten this. Oh, and I about messed up here. Getting ahead of myself. Back that off. What you want to do, make sure you take this rod and push this rod. And right now I have that a little tight, so I have to back it back off to loosen it up. Okay. And you push that in. And you want to, you can get it flush. And you don't want to jam it in there back against your flywheel. But that's what keeps the teeth that collapsed to get into the bearing from collapsing, and it actually pulls the bearing from behind. So I'll back this up and I'll start to gradually tighten this up. And I just felt that bearing start to pull out. And I'll just continue to tighten, taking my time. And I'm kind of at an awkward angle so that you guys can see this, but nevertheless, we're going to get this thing. And hopefully the camera action will be okay and you can see this. But right now what we're doing, hopefully, is gradually pulling that bearing out of that race. I can kind of feel it loosening a little bit. It's not quite as tight, so I think we're getting close. Hand's getting tired. Okay, there we go. Try not to let the tool drop down on your pinion gear. And right now, you can see, oops, what you just saw, or heard probably, was this piece here coming out. So that can come back out now. We can loosen this up. Take off the nut and washer. Go ahead and pull this out. And our bearing is right here. So that's how you get the bearing out. All right. So I'm going to shut the camera off, get prepared to put the new bearing in, and that'll be the end of this video. All right, so now we're going to put this new KO or JTEC or Torrington or Temkin, whatever you want to call it, bearing back in. So I'm going to clean out this race and make sure that it's nice and clean. I'm going to take some assembly lube. And this happens to be Ultra Slick. It's a Permatex product. You can use oil. People use a lot of different things, and I'd love some input from others that do this more than I do. to give me your opinion on what you would do and how you would handle it. We're big boys. We can deal with criticism. I do want to show you the bearing. So the bearing that I showed you earlier, it has two sides. It has a side, and I hope you can see that. It has a side that has writing on it. And if you can't see it, take your fingers and do this and zoom in. Magic. Unbelievable. Can't believe I didn't know that. So we have writing on this side, and on this side, it's more rounded. Anytime you're, for the most part, when you're putting anything in a race, you're really looking for the rounded side so that it kind of self-centers as you put it back. So the writing is going to be out so that when it's pressed in, you can still read the writing. So that's the bearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some assembly lube, and I'm going to put some assembly lube on all of these needle bearings and on the outside. And make sure that I have the writing on the outside. I want to show you the tool. This is part of that $68 tool, give or take, that I was talking about. This is the other half. This is you saw the tool we used to remove the bearing. This is the tool to install it. It has a bolt that comes through it. So I'm going to loosen these two screws, which are just a place to keep these so you don't lose them. And I am going to also, this is part of this tool. You will screw this end on all the way down, like that. And then you will take this part and it will sit down on like that. And our Torrington bearing will now, with the writing facing this hub, okay, that's how we'll set that up, and we'll bolt this up, and this is what you tighten to push that into this bearing into that race. So what I'll do is, let's set this up to where that goes in here. This part will go in this bolt hole, and you will pick the bolt holes that align this up directly with your race. So it's pretty self-explanatory. And my hands, now that I have assembly lube on them, are greasy. So I'm going to tighten that up. And then we'll tighten this one up. And what I'll do is I'll reset up the camera to where you might be able to see what we're doing. Okay, so now I'm going to reset the camera up and we'll be right back. So hopefully I can keep this in focus. Here's the plate that I put on. Okay, I reached in through the two holes here, moved the light obviously, reached in, pulled this back, put the bearing on the end of this tool with the writing facing toward me, and then made sure that this was centered and in there. And now it's a matter of tightening this up to push that bearing into that race. I did use lube, and what I'll do is start to tighten this up. And I kind of want to feel, and I don't want to use any big, I don't want to use anything that I can't feel. I want to feel that I'm pushing that back in, and I want to watch it and make sure nothing's binding. And I can feel that going back in. And right now I'm pushing that bearing into that race. And hopefully you can see that. So to change your bearing, you're looking at like 65, 75, 85. You're looking at $90 to buy the tool. Now, if you're never going to use the tool again, that's a personal decision whether you want to invest in that or not. But for $90, if I'm going to get in this deep, I'm going to make sure I can ride this dude for another 50,000 miles and not worry about it. And you want to put this in until you feel the bearing seat against the back of the race. You don't want to over tighten and torque and mess the bearing up or smash the casing of the needle bearing and get the bearings not working right, obviously. So take your time. Now you can see the tool is getting close to hitting the inside of the case. So now I'm going to kind of slow things down and take my time. And you can see, and I can't see as a matter of fact, but we're getting real close to being in there. And it's going to get a little tighter. And right there I felt it hit the actual back of the case. Now it got tight, but it stopped now. Now what I want to do is I want to back this off. Maybe try it. I'm happy with that. Okay. And again, we want to just take our time. So right now I just knocked the camera. So I am going to now back that back out and I'll be back. All right, so I have that backed out. Now I can continue to turn this and I want to watch that doesn't fall down, but we're to a point where I'm just taking it all apart now. And I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Sometimes I don't know what to show. I'm trying not to show, waste people's time, right? Watching me take off, and then we get some comments that say, man, I wish you would have shown that. So, bear with us. We're not professionals. There's that piece. in that piece. Okay, so that's the tool. Now what I'm going to do is, if you can see, pretty important that that race be pushed in a little past the flat of this. And what you're doing is you're allowing a little bit of a gap. See this little notch out, cut out here? That's where oil can get down and run across the front of this and actually oil your cam. So what I want to do now is I kind of want to feel. Make sure that everything's moving good in there and that you don't have any binds. It feels great. I'm recessed in. I felt it hit the back. So that is, in short order, how you remove and install a cam bearing. Like I said, if you're going to get in that deep, I recommend you do that. So that's the cam bearing removal and install. Hopefully that helps out. I recommend you watch other people's videos. Somebody's having fun. Watch other people's videos. You can't watch too many videos. You're going to pick up little pieces from other people. Hopefully you pick up a little piece from us. It's appreciated your time. We're going to be going through, if you want to see how to take it apart, we have videos that show each step, and there'll be videos on each step, putting the cam in, putting the air, the actual oil breather in, the gasket, how you shim things, how you shim that, how you get the right lash, the right in play. Blah, blah, blah. So if you're interested in that, check out the other videos. You can get into the playlist, etc. But ultimately have fun. So you get a chance, punch that monkey in the throat, stomp on that bell, pat that poodle bug, and if you ride them, wrench them, but only if you want to. Peace. Have a good evening. We'll catch you next time.